Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a quick first impressions video for you on a knife that I actually passed on initially. I saw it and I thought, kind of an interesting design, but a little small for me. And, I don't know. Overall, I just ended up not picking one up, despite the fact that it was a decent looking Wii knife that was not overly expensive. Packaged like most of the other Wii knives that we see out there, what we are looking at today is the Wii knives Saakshi. And I have to say, there's a bit of an explanation, I guess, required for this. So I had initially seen some probably Instagram posts of from We about this knife, and I thought, yeah, it's not a bad looking knife, but the one I saw was like G10 with a blasted blade, and I was like, yeah, you know, it's not really that compelling. So I didn't bother chasing one down when they became available, and just didn't give it much thought. And then I can't even remember. I actually went and tried to find the video I was watching, but I was watching somebody else's video, and it was one of these, multiple knife type of discussion videos, and one of the knives that they had on the table was this knife right here. This is, of course, and I didn't, because I'd only seen the blasted variation. It actually took me a second to think about what knife are they holding there. And when after I looked into it a little bit, I was like, the Wii Saakshi. I remembered it, but I'd never seen this particular configuration, and it just looked so good that I had to get my hands on one, even though it is a little bit small. So, when it comes to YouTubers influencing people, they even influence each other. And certainly I was not planning to buy this, but I just was so compelled by the look of this particular configuration. Now, perhaps you look at this and this is not your favorite configuration at all. Maybe you like the Jade, or there's a bunch of different colors of G10. There's even this particular version with the marbled carbon fiber and the blasted blade. But for me, when I saw the black coated blade with the stone wash under the coating looks so good, and then the blue titanium liners with the carbon fiber and the blue hardware, it just spoke to me. I just was so drawn to this that I had to go ahead and get my hands on one. So that's the story behind why I'm sharing this knife with you. It is still a little on the small side for me, but I actually find it not too bad. It's reasonable in hand. There's a fair bit of blade length there. So I haven't I can't really claim that it's too small. The other thing that I like is, of course, that Fuller does allow you to Spidey flick this, and the action is absolutely superb, as expected from Wii. That's one thing they really do have dialed in. So let me give you a quick rundown on the features here. Up front, we have a black washed, and it's a very dark black washed 20 CV blade, nice and thin behind the edge, full flat grind, fairly thin blade stock here. This is not, anything super hefty or robust. Really well suited though to most EDC tasks. A nice fuller here with sharpen of edges that, as I say, you can tuck the corner of your index finger, or I guess your middle finger, in there, and Spidey flick it quite nicely. You can also do sort of a thumb roll with that as well. It does have a flipper tab though, and the flipper tab works very nicely. The detent is really well dialed in here. And then we come to this pivot, which is, of course, ceramic bearings, liner lock, and this gorgeous blue anodizing that really, to me, just pops. Look at it's just nicely polished and quit focusing on the wrong thing. There we go. Nope, it just does not want to focus. There we go. Very nicely done. So really, really attractive to me. Down here, we've got a little more typical clip, nothing special there, although flush screws, and they have carried that blue anodizing through, which is nice. I also like there's just a touch of detail there on the lock side with the pivot collar. Now, while you're looking here closely, notice there are a couple of voids there in the carbon fiber. And this is, of course, marble carbon fiber, which it should be noted is essentially decorative resin. Okay, it does not have the material features that we're looking for from carbon fiber. It is purely an aesthetic material. Okay, so just wanted to throw that out there. Every once in a while, I'll get a mention of that, but it does look really, really good. And of course, with a liner lock, it doesn't matter all that much what you put on for scales, because most of the structural integrity of your knife is coming from the steel liners anyway. In this case, titanium liners. So that's a quick rundown of the features. Next, let me just quickly touch on size and weight. And here's where I'll point out, this is probably many of you, this will be totally fine. For me, it's a little on the small side, but 7 and 9/16 overall, 3 and 5/16 on the blade. I do prefer a 3.5-inch blade, but I can deal with it. 4 and 5/16 is the closed length, so nice and compact in pocket. Only weighs in at 3 ounces, and it has 3.5 inches of grip area, which for me works just fine. All right. Overall, I'm really, really impressed with this. It's a very fidgety knife. The action is absolutely fantastic. Very drop shut, very just fun to flick, fun to have in your hand. Everything is accessible. Yeah, so I think, first impression is really, really nice gentleman slash EDC knife. Kind of a fairly standard design from WE, but in a knife like this, that's actually quite welcome. It's nice to see them just do something fairly simple, but do it really, really well. For me, that's what makes most great knives truly great, is that they're just something simple done extremely well. And I think Nick has talked about that as well. Over on his channel. So there you go, guys. Quick look at the WE Saakshi. Really, really enjoy this guy so far. I'm a little behind getting this first impressions out there because it's been deer season. So I apologize for that. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Head over to White Mountain Knives. I think that Justin still has some of these in stock. I will talk to you later.